Okay, so today we got something a little different for you guys, and it is my first installment of Brotips series. I shouldn't say my first because I'm not alone. Today with me is the pilot of this scout helicopter, which goes by the name of Tactix. He's a very good friend of mine, and he will now tell you a little bit more about what Brotips actually is. So Tactix, go ahead and explain what you want to do by making these series.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Okay, my name is Tactix. I started the text-based thread with my friend Wolf Autopsy. Unfortunately, he is not going to be here commenting with us on this first commentary trial. Now, what the Bro Tips threads are, text-based threads based solely on the purpose of going and helping the average gamer better their experience for not only themselves, but also making it better for us, the more experienced veterans of the game. Reason being is we always hear everybody complain about randoms just not helping out helping out in game, whether it be by reviving, dropping health packs, ammo packs, repairing their vehicles, just leaving them hanging, or even just playing the objective in general. We hear these complaints every day, all day. So these threads are supposed to help both the new people out and the veterans be happy at the game. Now that we're going into this, the thread base that we have, right now we have 6 different pro tip threads out right now, covering a variety of topics, from assault class to support class, rushing on attack side, kit specialization threads, gunner position threads. That's just generally for the tanks, and then an attack chopper thread. Now, we always leave these forums open for suggestions so that we can go ahead and create what you guys as fans and members would like to hear. Now that we have that out of the way, that is basically just a quick breakdown of what pro tips are, and we'll go ahead and go into further discussion about the Scout Chopper now.
Okay, so I got all the links to Bro Nation, which is the battle log platoon, and the link to the Brotips thread for the scout helicopter down in the description if you want to check that out, which I suggest you do. So, to get more into the topic, tactics. What do you think is the best way to exercise flying helicopters in general, and especially the scout helicopter?
Okay, that's a very good question. I always suggest, no matter what, whatever the helicopter be, to practice your flying and a second co-op mission fire from the sky. Reason being is you get the attack chopper, the Viper, which is the most maneuverable attack chopper and one of the most maneuverable choppers in the game, period. You can practice all of the strats you ever need to learn to fly in that game type right there. You can just keep doing it over and over until you get good with it. You don't have to worry about people complaining about you not flying properly. You can practice your flying low to stay below radar. You can practice circle strafing, gun runs. You name it, you can practice it. That is the best place to learn it. Once you feel that you're competent enough as a pilot, go ahead and feel free to go out and venture off in the 2 maps where you can fly the Scout Chopper, which is Dam Van Peak and No Shark Canals. That goes for Rush and Conquest.
Okay, so speaking of Rush and Conquest, there's certain differences between those two game types in terms of what specs and tactics you should use for these certain game types. So can you just quickly tell us what you think is the best ways to use the Scout Heli and how to fly it in these game types?
I will gladly break that down. It's a very good question again. 2 Scout helicopters for the game that we already need to talk about. There's the Little Bird, the most maneuverable of the choppers, which is on the US side, and there's the Z-11 on the Russian side. It's just like with the attack choppers. The US side has the Viper, which is much more maneuverable than the other chopper. Now, the Z-11 is at least a very good helicopter overall, so we can't be complaining about the Russian Scout chopper in this one. But it is bigger, it does turn slower, therefore you have to get used to it in a little bit different light than you would with the Little Bird. Now, with Russian Conquest, Rush, the main priority for the Rush helicopter Scout Chopper is to quickly take out whatever resistance you have with ground vehicles, which there usually isn't very many because Rush is an infantry-based map. At least on, say, No Shark Canals Rush, you have to worry about the AA gun. So your priority is to take out that AA gun, and then from there you can help your team get the objectives. Now, you'll be rolling different loadouts just because of the different game types too. Now, I'll break down Conquest first. With Conquest, you're going to be in a very much heavier vehicle-oriented map. Say on No Shark Canals, you have to worry about the tanks now. They have sit stations with guided shells that you always have to be aware of. Now, for that purpose, like I was saying with the different loadouts, I run ECM and Conquest as my second perk. That way I can go ahead and block off any of the incoming walk-ons, whether it be from SOFLAM or whether it be from sit stations on tanks. Very important to know this. Now, your goal is still going to be the same priority. Take out the ground vehicles first. Then you can help out your team. But at the same time, in Conquest, you have to worry about the other choppers as well. In Rush, there's only one map where you have to deal with in the different chopper at the same time, an air-to-air. That's Dama Van Peak, but that's only halfway after the map has already started. So we're not going to go there. For the rest of the loadouts, as I was saying, I will run ECM and Conquest, and then I'll run Flares and Rush. Reason being, Rush, infantry base, they're going to be using Stingers a lot. You're going to be able to spot the infantry once they shoot their Stingers and you pop your Flares. You can take the infantry out very easy from there. Bang, bang, bong. You don't need to worry about anything from there. Now, SOFLAM and Rush. You do see it once in a while, but it's very rare. Even with that, you can take out the SOFLAM very easily because there's not much resistance on it. Now, for that purpose, I will always stick with Flares and Rush. Now, besides that first perk you have, I would suggest for new pilots, use Stealth. You need to work on your flying so that you can be able to become more accustomed to the different surroundings, varying altitudes, and the lock-ons you're going to get from the flares. So I will always suggest the Stealth as the main perk you have until you get good. Once you get better, you can go ahead and change it up, air radar, proximity, whatever you want. I myself go ahead and use Laser Painter so that I can designate any vehicle I want. I can blow up attack chopper or choppers from the sky. I can blow up vehicles from the ground because I run Guided Shell. These perks come very late for the Scout Chopper, so I can't really suggest them for you right now. Once you become very good with the Scout Chopper and you unlock them, you feel you're ready for them, go ahead and do it. But for now, Stealth should be your main one, Flares for Rush, ECM for Conquest, and for the third perk, I would say for you guys, you should run Heat Seekers because you're not going to unlock the Guided until the very end anyways.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last question I have to you is, what actually is the role for your team if you play the Scout Helicopter, and how do you need to work with your squad and with the environments? Can you just quickly explain us a little more on that topic?
Not a problem. Your engineers are your best friends in the choppers. You have 4 slots in the chopper, the pilot, the passenger, and 2 engineer slots where they can then go ahead and repair you. Now, they are your best friends. They are what keeps you up in the sky. Now, your main priority, like I said before, take out the ground vehicles first. Then your job is to go ahead and work on the objective, whether it be captain flags or whether it be just going ahead and helping your team up to the objective bomb, MCOM. Now, from there, you are a Slayer. The Scout Chopper is the best Slayer in the game, hands down. I don't care what anyone says about the Attack Chopper. I can do more kills in a Scout Chopper in a limited period of time than I ever could with an Attack Chopper. You're more maneuverable as well, harder to take down in general if you have a good engineer team. So always keep that engineer team in mind. If you find out that your teammate is being shot on the side of your helicopter, turn your helicopter to the other side if you're not able to communicate with them to tell them to move themselves. This will keep them alive longer. It will keep you alive longer. Always remember that. Now, besides that, a good engineer team can take out ground vehicles in a heartbeat. You can run the Laser Painter and a Guided Shell on a Scout Chopper, shoot your Guided Shell, turn yourself to the side, and let your engineer shoot a jab from the sky. Things like AA guns don't even come into play after that. You can steal vehicles with good NG teams. It's just a beautiful work of art once you have a good NG team rolling on a Scout Chopper pilot who knows what he's doing. Now, besides that, I think we need to cut it off a little bit right here. This is just a quick introduction, first commentary base for the Brotips Threads series. Please check out Bro Nation page if you'd like further description on tactics to fly the Scout Chopper, what I do, angles to attack from. Feel free to ask. I will go ahead and make another one that goes more along those lines. But this is just the first quick commentary just to see how things work out.
Okay, thank you very much, Tactix. I hope all of you enjoyed this. We're pretty good in time, so I'm just going to quickly make a short ending here. As I said, it's the first installment of Brotips. If you enjoy, we're going to keep on doing this just for you. The reason that I was only repairing this gameplay and you didn't see the perspective of the pilot, is because I'm not as good as a pilot as Tactix is. So I just could record the gunnings, the repairing side here. I hope you still enjoyed, and if you do so, just tell me what you think, and I will keep these up with Tactix and Wolf if you want to see more of them. So thank you for your attention, and I guess that's it. So thank you also, Tactix, for doing this with me. And do you have something more to say, or can we cut it off here?
I think we'll go ahead and stop it here, and thanks guys for listening.
Okay, thank you all, and we're out. See ya.